Hi everyone, it's Daishogun here for MilkGaming, and as you can see, we finally managed to get our HD PVR to actually work. I managed to get the HD cables for the PS3 that work with it, and everything is set up now, so I can finally show you guys some HD quality gameplay from some of the current gen consoles. They're not next gen anymore. So what's in your screen right now is the inFAMOUS 2 user-generated content beta. I managed to get into it before PSN went down, and just so you know, as of recording, PSN is still down. I'm recording this, I think, on Saturday the 7th or 6th of May. But yeah, so I can't actually play any of the user-generated content missions, but I can show you some of the new powers and improvements that have been made to inFAMOUS 2. So, to get started, first of all, is Cole's new look. They didn't really do anything new, like much to him after the user backlash when they first announced he was going to get changed. All they really did was they just gave him a couple of tats on his arms and some little like kind of cotton rings on his fingers, if that's the best way to explain it. It's like just like bandages on his fingers. Overall, he looks pretty, pretty Cole-like, from a bit better than the original game. In the original game, he kind of looked a bit weird, but yeah, now he looks pretty much the same. So yeah, as you can see straight off the bat, he runs a lot faster than he did in the first game, which is obviously a really good thing. And yeah, it helps you get around a lot quicker. The other thing I'll show you now, just right now, is the destructible environments. So this whole entire balcony system here, sometimes there'll be enemies populated there. So what you can do is you can just chuck a nade onto one of the the pillars, and the whole thing comes crashing down. Now, any enemies that are on there or underneath there would have died from the impact. So that's just pretty awesome. It's a really cool tool to use for to eliminate your enemies. The other things that they've added include things like this. So when you're on an electrified object and you jump, you now get this vault action. So like you just kind of jump really high. It's really good for those streets where there's the electrical wires just a bit too high for you to jump, but you can't be bothered going up the pole. So like, for example here, because there's a bunch of cars here, I can just jump on the cars and jump up instead of having to climb up the pole. Given that I'm here, I'll show you some of the Easter eggs that have been put in here already. As you can see on the movie board there, if I can get my guy to stop. Okay, there we go. As you can see from the movie names, Assassin's Need, Love, Halo Reach, and etc. You can just take a look at those if you pause it if you really want to read them. But as you can see, they're pretty funny stuff. Uncharted Love, and over there, if we could take a look, Call of Booty. Yeah, so this is the game obviously has a new setting. It's called Numeraise, and it's meant to be a not a replica exactly, but it's meant to be like New Orleans. So yeah, if any Americans are out there watching, you tell me if it's an accurate representation. The other thing, as you might have just seen, is the static thrusters. They've been upgraded quite a bit. So if you just look at the standard static thrusters from the first game, kind of didn't really do anything. They kind of just made you glide, but they didn't really give you any thrust. Well, these ones are the exact opposite of that. They give you a lot of thrust. So if I use them here, you get lift immediately, and you have full mobility regardless of the amount of time you've been thrusting for. It sounds a bit weird. But anyway, so yeah, if we take a look, you have a lot more momentum, and you can turn around on the spot and you do whatever you want. So it's really good. Here's another spoof I found earlier. Red Ring Electronics is meant to be for the Red Ring of Death. As you can see, all systems repairs is only 12 weeks, and the Ring of Death happening over there. So yeah, otherwise there are a couple of changes to the combat system, obviously. So first thing first, your melee weapon. You've got this amp now. You don't just punch with your fists, so you can absolutely annihilate people with this. This is a really powerful weapon, and when you press triangle, you actually drain energy from the people that you're attacking. So it doesn't really work very well in civilians, because there's no way for me to tell you how much damage I'm doing, but it's bloody awesome, to be completely honest. It is an amazing addition to the game, and it makes the combat all that much more better. Now the main part about the powers is that the powers have been made so that they are now kind of customizable in a way, if that's the way to describe. I don't know. But I'll just show you. So you got your bolts, which are assigned to holding L1 and pressing R1. So that's your stock standard stuff. So first difference is the original bolt you get at the start of this game is different to what you get at the start of the original inFAMOUS, because the original inFAMOUS had this kind of static lightning bolt which was kind of stayed between your arm and the enemy. Like, regardless, it kind of just appeared like a lightsaber kind of thing. It wasn't just a bolt that flew in the air. That's the first thing to note. And also, this has a specific range. It doesn't have infinite range. Well, the original game didn't have an infinite range, but it had a very long range compared to this one. And yeah, these also use your energy now. They're not infinite like they were in the first game. They use about 15 shots per power core. So it's pretty good, but you can still do that trick where you electrify something. Well, you can still electrify the base of this. You electrify something, and then you just seep power out of it. Oh no, you can't electrify the base of that. But yeah, you can still do that anyway. So that makes up for it. And then you've got this new pincer bolt, which is 3 bolts which converge on one. So there you go, as you can see. And last but not least of what we have, there's 3 other ones which we haven't been revealed to us in the beta. We have the scythe bolt, which is 5 bolts in a line, so kind of like the line gun in Dead Space. So if we look at it, it is powerful stuff. This thing can take out loads and loads of enemies. You know, you don't have to be accurate whatsoever. And yeah, this is the replacement for the trains, but there are no trains from what I can tell. These drive a lot slower than the trains did, and you're just better off using the... Wow, what's that connected to right now? Glitch much? Yeah, this can't possibly be here. There is no electric line for it to be attached to. I don't know, I think it's bugged. Yeah, it's bugged. There should be a line connecting between here and that thing there. Betas. I guess that's what happens. But yeah, you're a lot faster just going like this, instead of waiting for the tram to tug you along. The tram's absolutely terrible compared to just gliding on these. So yeah, that's the new thunder drop maneuver. You use your amp with that now. Anyway, so we're talking about the different powers. So I showed you the scythe bolt. So now there's the different blasts which are assigned to L1 and X. So you've got your alpha blast, which is the stock standard blast you get at the start of the first game. And then you got your punch blast, which is a narrower but more forceful blast. So it pushes things a lot further. And then finally you've got... No, not finally, sorry. You got your detonation blast. This is the best thing. It does this little ball thing here, and you shoot that and it explodes. It's freaking awesome for setting up traps, because you can set up several of them in strategic locations and blow away your enemies. They're pretty powerful stuff. And finally, the ones that we have revealed to us are the graviton blast. So now if I can go find a civilian to show this to you. It's just like the good version of the blast in the first game. So as you can see, they go flying like that. Then we've got grenades. So you've got your normal nade, which bounces around and all that kind of stuff. Then you got your sticky grenades, which obviously, as they say, they stick. And finally, you got your double grenade, which are 2 nades in one. So, oh wait, I need some power for this. Some energy. So, your 2 nades in one. As you can see, there's 2 blasts there. So that sums up your powers pretty much. You've also, oh, last but not least, you've got kinetic pulse. There are powers now attached to R2. The only one that's been revealed to us is kinetic pulse. So you hold R2 and you can lift things up, as you can see, and then you can fling them for no energy cost. And then you can go and try and catch them again. Oh no, I flung it too far forward. But as you can see, yeah, it's a pretty powerful thing. Like, you can absolutely wipe out enemies with these, like hordes of them. Just pick up some random things like a chair and start hurling it at people. See, look how much damage that chair did. Anyway, so that's oh, that chair's fucking flying at me. So yeah, that is the what we know about the power so far from inFAMOUS 2. In terms of overall look, as you can tell, probably if you played the first game, the look of this game is about 1,000,000 times better. The frame rate is a lot better. A lot more happening in the city. The city's a lot bigger. Here's a map of the city. We actually have the whole entire map available to us, but parts of it seem to be flooded. But anyway, so it looks like there's only 2 main islands this time around, unless this area here, which is flooded, is going to become a 3rd area. But as you can see, you've got this main district here, which we've got unlocked, and these are the 2 districts which we haven't, 1 or 2 districts we haven't unlocked, and then there's this island area over here as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. I'm not sure how big it is in comparison to the first game, but it is quite big. Like, this first area is friggin' massive. Obviously, you can do the markers and all that kind of stuff that you could in the first game. Wow, this land goes out pretty far. I'm gonna actually try and get to over here, plop a marker there, and go in that direction. But anyway, yeah, the game overall seems to be a really good, really well polished, to be honest. Also, chain link fences aren't your enemy anymore. You can actually jump over them, which is pretty cool. So yeah, the game is really well made from what I've played of it so far anyway, and I think it'll be a really good addition to the PS3 exclusives lineup. So yeah, that pretty much sums up what I need to show you, what I wanted to show you, sorry, of Infamous 2, or the generated content beta. I'll put up another video later when PSN does come back up with some of the missions that people have made, because there are some pretty awesome missions. There's Space Invader type stuff, and yeah, it's really amazing. It's kind of like Little Big Planet. It's on the same level as Little Big Planet. If this gets a lot of community support, this game is going to be able, you're going to be able to play this game until the third game gets released, because the amount of things you can do with user-generated content tools it's just limitless. So yeah, about PSN, it's been unfortunate that it's been down. It's still down, like I said, as of the recording of this video. Hopefully it'll come back soon. The good thing about it is, though, US users are going to be getting $1 million worth of identity theft protection per user, which is pretty amazing for a year. And also EU users, so European, Australian, New Zealanders, we're all getting 2 free PSN games for PS3, and if you own a PSP console which is registered to your PSN account, sorry, you'll be getting 2 free PSP games from the PSN. The PS3 games are out of a selectable choice of 5 titles, which haven't been revealed yet, and the PSP out of selectable 4 titles, which haven't been revealed yet. The thing to note about that is, though, that you won't have access to those benefits until the PSN store comes back up, and Sony have said that PSN store probably won't come back up at the same time as other online features do. That'll probably come up at the end of this month as opposed to the next couple of days, as the login and stuff is concerned. Otherwise, everyone is getting 30 days of PlayStation Plus. If you're a subscriber, you'll get an extra just 30 days, and not an extra 30 days as in 60 days, but you'll get an extra 30 days to your current subscription. And all Curiosity Music Unlimited subscribers will be getting an additional 30 days to their subscription. So all in all, in my opinion, it's a pretty good gesture. By their terms of service, they don't really have to do anything for us, so it's a pretty good gesture by Sony to do anything at all. There are companies who wouldn't bother doing anything. At the same time, though, it must be said that Sony should probably have done a bit better in terms of protecting users' data, but at the same time, you gotta realize that it's the hacker's fault for hacking the data in the first place. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of, well, wasn't really an episode of anything, but I hope you enjoyed today's feature of Infamous 2, and you guys should look out for it when it gets released on June 7th, I think it is, or something like that. It gets released in that first week of June around the world, so yeah, you guys probably should check out the game when that gets released. Hopefully I might have another hands-on or a review of that game when that comes out. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please continue to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Our Osama bin Laden spoof has been going absolutely fantastic, so please keep watching that and keep showing it to your friends. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Daishogun out.